Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Tutelage, a guide to learner here. This is Sriparna. I hope you all are doing good. In my last session on education, we had already discussed one of the most interesting chapter, that is research aptitude, and you all know that it is equally important in UGC Net examination paper 1 as well as PhD and MPhil enrollment. So it helps to update your subject research, and it is one of the most important chapter who wants to go with research work. So please to follow these sessions. I hope it will be really helpful sessions to everyone. So but today we are going to discuss some important MCQs on this chapter. So we had already discussed some MCQs on teaching aptitude. Okay, so if you have missed my previous sessions, so please go and check it once. I hope it will be really useful session to everyone. So I think this session is going to be a first session of MCQs on research aptitude. So let's begin the session and move on the main slide. So here this is the first question of this session. So the first question is, which of the following is opposite to the experimental research? And we have four options. First option is ex post facto research, second option is applied research, third option is action research, and the last option, that is case study research. And we have already discussed the what do you mean by a exposed, applied, action, case study and experimental research. So I think this is clear. Which of the following method is just opposite to the experimental research? So that's why at first we have to know what do you mean by a experimental research. So we all know that the experimental research basically indicates the relationship between two or more variables. Okay, is tested by performing experiments involving manipulation of the stimuli, environment, or an independent variable. So, experimental research indicates the relationship between two or more variables with manipulation of the stimuli, environment, or an independent variable. Okay, so just opposite to the experimental research, that is ex post facto research, because in ex post facto research there is no manipulation. Okay, so that's why option number A is the correct answer. So which of the following research method is just opposite to the experimental research, that is ex post facto research? Now move on to the second question. What do you mean by research or research is? So basically it indicates the definition of the research, and we all know that research indicates, basically in simple words, research can be defined as the in-depth study of something in search of some new information. So here there are four options. The first option is an organized approach for resolving problems. Option number B is careful, patient and systematic study. Third option is mere accumulation, and the fourth option, that is purely for academic purpose. So I think this is clear from the definition of the research, and we all know that in simple words, research basically is the in-depth study of something in search of new information. So that's why research is careful, patient and systematic study. So option number, I think B is the correct answer. So now move on to the third question. Good research focuses on which of the following? The first option is formulating generalization, theories, principles and innovation. The second option, that is social welfare. Third option, subjective analysis of a situation. And the fourth option, that is all of the above. So obviously good research, basically, research focuses on the formulating generalizations, theories, principles, and innovations. So that's why good research focuses also formulating generalizations, theories, principles, innovation, not the social welfare, not the subjective analysis of a situation. So that's why option number A is the correct answer. So now move on to the next slide. Fourth question is, which of the following is a continuous variable? Okay. As usual, there are four options: number of clothes, weight, income, none of these. So what is the correct answer for this particular question? Do you know, learner, what do you mean by a continuous variable? We all know that variable is of two types. The first one is continuous and the second one is a non-continuous and discrete variable. So here we can discuss only the continuous part. Okay, so continuous variable indicates that type of variable which can be expressed continuously. That means it decimals as well. So weight is the correct answer for this particular question. So option number B or 2 is the correct answer. So among these options, weight of the individual is the correct example of continuous variable. So now move on to the next question. Sampling techniques in which all the units of the population have an equal chance of selection is known as. So there are four options: quasi probability sampling, probability sampling, I think third option is non probability sampling, and last option that is all of the above. And now move on to the previous slide, and at first we have to know what do you mean by a probability sampling. And we all know that sampling is of two types, and sampling basically a process, so population and which is related to the sample. Okay, so what is the difference between population and sample? Sample basically is representative of the whole population, and the process we are selecting through this process sample size from the population. That process is called as sampling. Okay, so sampling basically is of two types. The first one is probability and non probability. So probability sampling indicates each unit of population has an equal chance of selection. So here we can see sampling techniques in which all the unit of the population, that means each unit of the population, both are same, have an equal chance of selection, is known as quasi probability, probability, non probability, and the all of the above. So obviously we all know that option number B, that means probability sampling, is the correct answer for this particular question, because we can see the definition in my previous session. So if you have missed my previous session, so please go and check it once. I think it will be a really helpful session to everyone, and my all previous sessions links are given in my first comment and my description box. So please go and check it once. Now move on to the next question, that is, if the null hypothesis is true but it has been rejected, this will be considered as a good decision, type 1 error, type 2 error, and nothing can be said. Obviously option number B, that is type 1 error, is the correct answer, because type 1 error indicates null hypothesis is true. So we have already told in my previous session, null hypothesis indicates there is no relationship between two or more variables, and in statistics null hypothesis is indicated by H naught. Okay, and so H naught is true but it is rejected, but H naught is rejected. Okay, so which is known as type 1 error. So that's why if the null hypothesis is true and sorry but it has been rejected, and this condition is will be considered as a type 1 error. So option number B is the correct answer. Now move on to the next question. So, learner, we have already told what do you mean by a hypothesis and the types of hypothesis, and so in my previous session we have already told that part. So please go and check it once. You have any doubt on it, so please do comment in my comment section. I will reply you, I promise. So now move on to the next slide. So here we can see the next question. Research work can be published in First option is magazine, second option is newspaper, third option is journal, and the fourth option that is books. And we all know that research work can be published in journals, not the magazines, newspaper, and books. So option number C is the correct answer. Now move on to the next question. Which of the following is not needed in experimental research? So which thing is not needed in the experimental research, or which is not related with the experimental research? So there are four options as usual. First option is manipulation, observations, control, and reference collection. So we all know that in experimental research basically indicates the relationship between two or more variables with manipulation of the independent variable, and there is a control. Okay, so that's why manipulation, observation, control all are related to the experimental research. So only option number D, reference collection, is not needed in experimental research. So that's why reference collection is the correct answer for this particular question. So now move on to the next question. Sorry, there is a mistake. So this is question number 10. Okay. So the question number 9 is, which of the following is not correct? Research is a systematic activity. Research adds to the existing knowledge. Researchers should adjust the findings of research according to the popular beliefs and values, etc. And researchers should have creative thinking. So obviously, which is not correct statement about research? So obviously, research is a systematic activity. We have already known that part. Research adds to the existing knowledge. Researchers should have creative thinking. All statements are correct for this for this research, for the concept of research, but only option number C, researchers should adjust the findings of research according to the popular beliefs and values, etc., which is not correct. So this statement is incorrect. So that's why option number C is the correct answer. So, learner, here we can see the next question. The population to be studied comprises groups with different proportions, which, which sampling technique should be used to ensure that their representation in the sample is according to the size in the population. Okay, so here we can see there are four options: quota sampling, proportionate sampling, purposive sampling, and stratified random sampling, and we will discuss it later. Okay, so here we do not explain concept of sampling, quota, stratified, etc., because it is a purely question answer session. So just you know the definition of the quota sampling. In quota sampling, the population is divided into different groups. Okay, and then each group is allocated quota of the same proportion as it has in the total population. So that's why this is related to the quota sampling, and option number A is the correct answer. So now move on to the next question. The quality of the research is judged by the relevance of the research methodology adopted in conducting the research. The next option, that is depth of the research, and the fourth option, that is experience of the research. So obviously the research quality, the quality of the research depends on the methodology adopted in conducting the research, not the depth, experience, relevance. All are important, but quality of the research is depends on the methodology we adopted in conducting the whole research process. So option number B is the correct answer. So now move on to the next question. And important characteristics of research is reliability. We all know that because we have already told what are the characteristics of research. So which also indicates, so reliability indicates superiority, verifiability, quality of the data, or validity. So obviously reliability indicates the validity, and validity is one of the most important characteristics of research also. But reliability not indicates it not indicates the superiority, verifiability, and the quality. So option number D is the correct answer. So now move on to the next question. What is the purpose? purpose of the literature review. Okay, we have already told what is the concept of literature review. And literature, and you all know that literature review is one of the most important steps of research also. So that's why we have to know what is the purpose. So purpose of literature is to familiarize researchers with work already completed and information already available about a topic. Second option is to communicate scope of further research. Option number C is to help researcher in choosing unknown areas he or she will explore, and all of the above. So obviously all of the above. Option number D is the correct answer. Basically, literature review is literature review helps to familiarize researchers with their work which is already completed and informations already about a topic, and it helps to communicate scope of further research. It helps to researcher in choosing unknown areas he or she will explore. So that's why all are the correct statement about the concept of literature review. So that's why option number D, all of the above is the correct answer. So now move on to the next. So learner, we are done for the today's session. I hope this session will be very useful to you. If you like my session, so do not forget to like, share, comment. Please do some support and subscribe my channel for getting more useful sessions. I will come again with a new exciting session. Till then, stay tuned. Thank you to all of you. Happy learning. Keep commenting. Thank you.